Hi everyone, welcome to my channel PhD to MD. My name is Ruth and I'm a postdoc at Harvard. In my last video, I shared my experience to get a postdoc position at Harvard, and I'll put the link below if you would like to check it out. In that video, I mentioned that I set my goal of doing my postdoc at a Harvard lab when I started my PhD overseas. And some of my friends were curious why I would set that goal. So in this video, I would like to share what motivated me to want to go to Harvard at the age of 15, my long waiting journey of 17 years, and what I've learned along this way. So when I was 15, there was a very famous Korean drama called Love Story at Harvard. It is a beautiful love story between a girl at Harvard Medical School and a boy at Harvard Law School. The actress is very beautiful and the actor is very handsome. And the love story between them is just so beautiful. In addition to that, what impacted me also was how they used their knowledge to choose to do the right and just at the risk of their own life. I watched that drama for many times, and it impacted me so much. Although I would say the love story part impacted me more than doing the right and just. Well, it's understandable, right? Because I was only 15 at that time. But it impacted me so much to the extent that I told myself that I really want to go to Harvard one day in the future. I never realized how a dream at a young age, regardless of the reason, could be so powerful. It is like a seed in my heart, and the desire only grows over time. I did my undergraduate in my home country though, which was much cheaper compared to doing it in the US. And when I was in college, I applied to a lot of graduate programs at Harvard, but none accepted me. I was accepted by a great master program at New York City. So I moved to the US and planned to apply for PhD programs at Harvard. Long story short, I was not accepted either, and I was very frustrated. I thought I wasn't smart enough. And I remember those days when I traveled to Boston from New York City just for any school's information session, taking the T to Harvard Square and looking at those students on campus. I was like, oh, I really wish that I could be one of them. They're so smart and brilliant to be here. And most of the time, I have to take a night bus back to New York City to save the accommodation fee. And I remember arriving at Times Square at 2 a.m. and walking on the street, feeling very tired. And I looked up to the sky, seeing the stars and the moon, and encouraged myself that your hard work will pay off one day. You will realize your dream. So I went to the only PhD program that accepted me, which is overseas. And very naturally at that time, I set my goal to go to Harvard for postdoc. If you watched my last video, you would know that I went for an exchange program to Harvard during my PhD and found a suitable postdoc position. But I waited for another 3 years for the funding and visa to be ready. And after waiting for 17 years, I finally started my postdoc position at Harvard at the age of 32. Although not as a student, but as a staff working, I am happy and content enough. So when I looked back on this journey and reflected, I could still feel the pain and struggles for failure and waiting. And I thought about the three things I've learned along this journey. So the first thing is about the importance of patience. If you are someone with faith, perhaps you are familiar with the story of Abraham and Joseph, who had to wait for a very long time for God's promise to fulfill. But because they've waited patiently, they received abundant blessings in their life. When I was younger, I couldn't wait, and I just want things immediately. In this long waiting journey, I always used these two stories to encourage myself many times. And it taught me that for certain things that are out of our control, I could make the effort but may need to wait patiently with peace for the results to come. So the second point is about resistance and resilience. Since I was young, I have never been very smart. I am just average. And this journey taught me that I don't need to be very smart to reach my goal. Perhaps characters like resistance and resilience are more important in life. The ability to pick myself up when I fail, bounce back, and keep trying is more important. And I could picture reaching my goal as a marathon. I could run fast or slow. I could stop to rest and drink, and walk for a few miles. But as long as I am going towards the right direction, I will reach the destination, and it's just a matter of time. So, understanding this actually helps me to have the courage to set my next goal as becoming a medical doctor in the US. And in a series of upcoming videos, I will talk about why I want to do an MD after PhD. So, the third is perhaps dare to dream, which I've mentioned in my last video. But I think it is a very important mindset to believe in yourself because if I never set the goal, I would never work hard for it. And I heard this from a lot of doctors telling me that really don't think that you're not smart enough or you can't get into med school. You don't have to be very smart. You just have to work very hard and perhaps try for a few times. This may go back to my second point about the importance of resistance and resilience. So my friend have asked me whether it worth to wait for so long, and I think there is never a right or wrong answer. It really depends on what brings joy and content to oneself, and it varies from person to person. I try not to compare myself to someone else's life because our goals are very different in life. And through this journey, I understand that no matter how put together we look on the outside, we all have struggles and challenges in our lives to deal with. And it would be great if we could be nice to each other and support each other. And I think whatever our goals are in life, as long as we feel that we are living a satisfied and content life by reaching that goal, it's definitely worth it. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope that the content would be helpful to some extent. Hope you all achieve your dream and goals in life, and God bless you.